here to teach you the basics of PHP. Once you use SAMP, make sure to start the Apache and the MySQL. What we'll do next is to create a folder inside my local disk C WAMP or SAMP. If you're using WAMP, click on the WAMP folder and then choose www. But in a SAMP, it's a different story because the www's equivalent folder is the htdocs. So let's open the htdocs and let's create a folder there. This time I'll create a folder named as just make it tutorial. So there we go, tutorial. Inside my tutorial folder, I'll be creating another folder and I'll name it database. Okay, so basically I'll start everything from scratch. I am using Sublime, but you can also use Notepad, Notepad++, and whatsoever. So I'll be opening my folder, htdocs tutorial, select folder. There we go. Now inside my database folder, I'll be creating a new file. So I'll open PHP. Well, if you can see it, let me magnify. There we go. Be opening PHP and at the same time be closing it. So let's have $con is equal to MySQLi underscore connect. So our goal is basically to create a database. Okay. $con, this can be changed, but before that, let's first save this inside my tutorial database folder and I'll just name it db.php. So our goal is to create a database, db.php. Now MySQLi Connect, this has 3 parameters on it. It's the host name, so it's localhost basically since we're using a local server. Username is root, password is blank. Okay, then let's create our command, which I'll name SQL. So let's just type in create database and what's the name of the database that we want to create. So this time I'll just make it tutorial db, like that. Now to make this happen, we must have another function, MySQLi query, MySQLi underscore query $con, our first variable, and then $SQL, which is our second variable. Okay, and then let's close that with a semicolon. Take note, all of the words that have the $sign are variables, so basically you can change them. We'll save this and let's open our browser. Let me minimize now. I'm opening my browser and I'll just type in localhost PHP-MyAdmin. So basically we can see all of our databases here. Remember, in our code we are asking PHP to create tutorials DB or tutorial DB for us. Okay, so here, as we can see, these are the list of databases that we have on our server, and we can see there's no tutorial DB yet. So let's first run our code. Localhost / what's the name of our folders? Tutorial. What's the name of the folder inside it? It's database, and then db.php. Okay, so there's no notification, but when we run this again or refresh, you can see there's tutorial DB right here. It's our task to create table. So in our PHP, once again, on our database folder, let's create another file. Open PHP up, close it, save this. Okay, inside the database folder, and just name it table.php. That's for now. Table.php. Now let me magnify again. There we go. Table.php. Let's create our connection first. So MySQLi underscore connect. There we go. Localhost. Then second parameter is root. Third parameter is blank. This is my password as of now. And fourth parameter is the name of our database. So tutorial. This is the one that we have created a while ago. Tutorial DB. Okay. So let's create our table. So SQL. Take note. You can replace them with whatever name that you want. So let's just type create table. What's the name of our table? Let's say users. Okay. Opening and closing parentheses. Then in between, let's just enter. Let's just type user underscore ID. This will be an integer with let's say 250. Okay, and then let's just type in unsigned primary, no, unsigned, I'm sorry, primary key auto increment. Well, what this does is it automatically generates another number once you have inserted a new data. That's automatically, one is automatically added. So it's basically one plus plus. So let's just type in first name, first underscore name. This will be a varchar. Then let's just have 50, comma. Let's just type in last name. Let's just type in 50. Let's add username with 50, and then let's have password. Let this be a varchar again. Let's have 250. Okay. So let's run this by having another variable with the function of MySQL underscore query. Let's put our first variable and our second variable, these two basically, and don't forget semicolon. Run this. Let's just run this. Let's save this. Let's open this again. Let me minimize. And then type in localhost slash tutorial slash database slash table.php. There's an error, MySQL connect, because it must be MySQLi connect. So sorry about that. Let's run it again and it's fine. Okay, once we reload this and then click on tutorial DB, as we can see, users table has been made. Let's click on it. Oh, it's loading some time. Click on structure, and as we can see, we have the fields that we have initiated through our code. User ID, which is a primary key, auto increment, and then first name, last name, username, and password. Now let's make another file into this time in the tutorial folder. Right click, another file. Let's open PHP and let's close PHP. Okay, so basically it's outside the database folder. Let's just name it index.php. Okay, now after the closing PHP, let's first create our HTML file. Basically I'm using HTML5. So open HTML, close HTML, open the head, close the head. So basically I'll just design my landing page, and then I'll open the body and close body. Okay, there we go. The head, let's have a title. Okay, I'll just name my tutorial PHP tutorial. Okay, and then let's have a body that will have a div. Well, if you will have difficulty on this, basically I'm just designing a form. So div, let's put it a class. um, let's have container. So basically, yeah, let me magnify this. So there we go, container. Okay, so I'll create my form. Yeah, there we go. Then let's have method. Then let it be post. Okay. Now, in between of my form, I'll be creating a table tag. Make sure I'll close it there also. Enter. Now inside my table, I'll open this with tr, then closing tr. Basically, uh, copy this 4 more times. First name, last name. Yeah, 4 more times. So 1, 2, 3, and then another one, 4. Okay. First tr, let's first type td in between. Then I'll type in first name, and then closing td. Then another opening td and closing td. Okay, and closing td. And then I'll type it input type. Let it be a text name f name. Okay, so for the next one, in between of the opening and closing TRs, let's create another opening TD, or you can just simply copy this, all of this line, in between of the next opening and closing TR. Just change this into last name. Take note, this name here is the most important one, right? You can name this whatever you want, but make sure to remember it, because this will be a channel for the connection of HTML to PHP. So for the first name, we are calling it f name. For the last name, we are calling it l name. Okay, and then in between here again, then make this username. There we go. The name, let's just make it uname. Then copy and paste here again. Let's just make it password. Okay. The name, just change it to p-word. Okay. Now, for the last one, let's create another opening td and closing td. Okay. In between, just type in. Okay. Input type submit. Okay. Name. Let's make it reg. Value register. Okay, one thing I forgot is in the password, the input type must be password. Yeah, so that when you type, it's in a bullet form. Okay, now I got it. Then it's time to go to the PHP that we have initiated on top. Okay, so just have con equal to MySQLi underscore connect. Okay, same thing. Initiate localhost. The username is root. Password is blank. Password is database name is tutorial db. Right? Now we're gonna call if is set $_ post. Okay. Now in between of the squared brackets, just type in single quotation mark. What we'll type here is the submit button name, so it's reg. I told you that those names are important because they will be a channel for the connection in PHP. So this line simply means that if PHP gets something from a method, from a form that has a method of post, with this kind of name, which is our submit button, then this will happen. So opening and closing curly braces. Let's just type $A, which you can name whatever you want. So $_post. Okay. Don't forget the semicolon, F name. So all of the names that we typed here, F name, L name, and U name. So F name, B is $_post. L name, okay, $C is $_post. U name, then $D is equal to $_post. P word. Now, time to create our SQL. Now, SQL, got it. Now, our target is to insert it. So insert into, what's the name of our table? I think it's the users table. Then the fields that we'll insert. So first name, last name. So basically, these: first name, last name, username, and password. No need to insert to user ID because it's auto increment. Okay, so last name, username, and password, and comma, this must be comma, and then password. Now we can enter this and leave the quotation mark and semicolon here. Just type in values, so single quotation $A, so basically this one, okay, then $B, this one, and this one, okay, comma, $C, and $D. Okay, so there we go. After this, let's have data. So MySQLi underscore query with the connection, and then SQL. Save this one and exit this one, and just type in localhost/tutorial. Okay. Call to undefined function MySQL connect, because it must be MySQLi. Okay, again, the same error. Got this. There we go. Now, first name. Let's magnify this one. Okay. First name. Let's say Brian Umandap. Username. For example, Jason. It's my username 123. Password is 12345. 12345. Register. Define index p word. Now, where's that p word? Because of this one. See, word with a W. So let's remove that. Okay, save this. Now let's run this again. So Brian Mandap Jason 123, password 12345. Register. So there we go. Now when we check our database, so tutorial DB, okay, there's the users table here. Now you can see Brian Amandap Jason 123 2345. Now let's insert something again. Let's say Adam Sanchez, for example. Username is A Sanchez. Password is admin, for example. Register. Okay, if I'll refresh this again. So yeah, Adam Sanchez Sanchez admin. So as you can see, user ID is automatically generated. Okay, so I hope you guys learned something today. If you have questions, feel free to message me. Thank you so much and God bless.